Hey yo, Hawthorne heads, Hawthorne heathens, Hawthorne hellions, Hawthorne hell yes? Well, we're back at it. By the time you hear this, we will be on the Lonely World Tour, Leg 1. But I've done my homework like a good emo scout. I worked ahead. I hope the weather is good. That's all you can really hope for. Saying sorry. What the hell could this be about? Is it literally an audio apology to anyone that my anxiety has ever touched a little too heavily? Yes. When I feel like I'm backed into a corner, I tend to explode, then withdraw. Sometimes it's due to external factors, sometimes it's too much introspection, and sometimes it's just good old-fashioned frustration. I'm not a perfectionist, but I just want things to be right. And I just want everyone we work with to try as hard as we do. I don't think that's asking too much, but sometimes it is. I think that's just how it is when you're working with other people. I'm not really someone who thinks that I have to be right all the time, but I do have a firm belief in what I want things to look like, or be like, sound like, and how our business should work. That can come across pretty aggressively sometimes, so when the moment is too big, I can get loud. During that first year of touring, we were sleeping in vans, staying in the shittiest hotels, and trying our best to afford the cheapest tour bus. We learned to adapt to whatever we needed to adapt to. That isn't smooth, but it gets done. It can create tension. You would really be surprised how simply saying you are sorry to someone and meaning it can instantly change the mood in that room. I have to remember this sometimes. Also, when someone says sorry to you, shake their hand. Take them seriously, and move on. When you're working on a team, you can't really harbor grudges. Speaking of tension, this time frame has started to get tense with the band and label when talking about saying sorry. We weren't really seeing eye to eye on anything. We kind of felt like we were being taken advantage of, and within our first 18 months of being a band, we went through extreme highs and extreme lows. We were learning more about the music industry, learning more about record contracts, and more about how we should conduct ourselves in terms of business. I remember everything going from all smiles to all business once our second album started. We started to take everything more seriously, which kind of bothered a few of us and made a few of us happier. In a band, you have to balance a lot of personalities. Saying Sorry was the first single off of If Only You Were Lonely, and I remember getting those first mixes of the song right when we were on tour in England with Bayside, Silverstein, and Spitalfield. Man, that tour was great. All great friends from a magical time period. It was the Victory Records tour, and we were the headliner. We shared a bus, in the UK they call it a nightliner, with Bayside, who we'd become really tight with. I remember having to ask Anthony to not smoke on the bus, and it kind of broke my heart, because this is supposed to be rock and roll, and this was my friend. I was ruining rock and roll in my mind by asking a friend to bend to my rule. I felt the punk rock leave my body at that moment, and it's suddenly like I became a cop. I hope Anthony still doesn't think about that and think that I'm an asshole, because that's a guy that I love. He probably doesn't remember it at all. We didn't like the first mix of Saying Sorry, and we were 6 hours ahead of the producer, and in the winter of 2005, we didn't have the technology to do this quickly. Micah was the only one who had a computer that could download a WAV file in England, Internet really wasn't a thing there yet. So we all had to huddle around his computer, passing around his headphones, and writing notes on hotel notebooks. We all agreed that the mix wasn't exactly what we were looking for. We need more guitars. There's 3 of us. We didn't want to sound like a pop-punk band, even though we love pop-punk. We wanted to have our own lane. We wanted the guitars to drive the entire album, and this first mix sounded a little too poppy and shiny. So we traded notes and thoughts for 2 full days in the British winter, and we ended up with exactly what we were looking for. Melody, sadness, and as heavy could sound in E standard tuning, which is difficult to achieve, but we got there. This song is kind of about me battling online backlash for the first time. You constantly feel like you have to apologize for not being good enough to complete strangers. It can eat you up. Doing things like reading reviews of your own shows or music written by people who already don't like you is a fool's errand. These words will fade when you explain why you hate them. We are the same. That's me firing back at bad reviews, explaining that I respect your opinion, but maybe you just shouldn't be so harsh about it, because I'm a real person. We are the same. Just humans trying to exist in the world of art. It makes me feel like that line is relevant now more than ever, but for an entirely different reason. Why are we so polarizing to each other? Why do we dig in so hard to support complete strangers that do not care about us at all? Why do we argue with our friends and families to the point where they no longer feel like friends and family? Now, we are absolutely allowed to call each other out on our bullshit, but there is an elegance to conversation that can help articulate how we are feeling. So let's focus on that. We're all more alike than we think, and we should highlight our similarities, not low light or shade our differences. Being different kind of fucking rocks. Being strange and unique is actually the goal here. I can't think of anything less relevant in 2026 than album reviews. I think that's probably a good thing. Like what you like. Release something, the people will find it. Just a few last hours. We gotta make this count. This is my way of saying that I know that our time is running out. We have a big bullseye on our back, and I know it. Because nothing lasts forever. Music and entertainment are so trend-based that there is no way that people are going to care about Ohio's for Lovers next year. So we better get to work on trying to write a song that will beat it. Boy, was I wrong. It's 20 years later and we can't escape it. And we don't want to. We're busier now than we were back then. And I think it's because we have always tried to maintain our relationships with the fans and not the music industry. The band and fans have so much more power now than they had back in the early 2000s. I don't understand the doom and gloom about yesteryear. We might not be able to sell plastic circles anymore, but we do have a way closer connection with our fans. We can do things like explain these songs on whatever platform we want for free. It's just as much about getting these thoughts out of my head as it is about making you remember how you felt when you first heard these songs. I don't want to hide this behind a paywall. I just want to talk about who we were back then and who we have become. Maybe this will remind you to buy a ticket to go see a band that you like when you need some entertainment. Maybe it will remind you to listen to these songs on your way back from work. Maybe it will remind you to call a friend that you haven't talked to in quite a while, and maybe they become your concert buddy again. Maybe it'll remind you that energy drinks are bad for you, and that your vape juice might be made in a bathtub. Just kidding. I tried to catch you with a little bit of straight-edge justice there on that last one. Do what you want, just don't let it consume you. Don't work a job just to buy things that destroy you. It seems unproductive. If you're feeling low, get outside and take a walk, and think. Go to a coffee shop. Watch how busy those people are in there. Sit at the bar, enjoy a cup, and talk to them. Words mean more than you think. As I look out the window in Ohio, the snow is falling like ash from an angry volcano, and it's unrelenting. Last week it was 65 degrees. Now the ground is covered again. I cannot wait for this weather to break because my mood instantly gets back. This is the last week of tour prep, and we're feeling the burn. We're so scattered, man. The anxiety is high because we really just want to put on a good show. We want to feel comfortable up on that stage, and we want to be able to be in a great mindset when we unpack all these memories for you. I think we'll get there because we normally do. This is going to be the biggest crew we have ever had in a long, long time. Because touring in 2026 is weird, man. Instead of traditional lighting, we opted for video walls, which is something we haven't done a lot. But we really want to set a tone here. We want to show you guys what these songs mean. Matt and I have been building the video set while Mark has been working on the audio set. We all have different specialties and shortcomings, but we usually get there. We also need someone on our stage to help us plug our stuff in directly before we play. So we don't have to, make it too casual and look like clowns out there. We aren't above it. We usually do it ourselves, but it's pretty simple. But this time around, we want a little bit of help. We're bringing our own sound guy because we want less worries and we want to be locked in. We met our sound guy when we were touring with the band Thursday, who are some of our favorite people on earth. Great band, super solid dudes, and top-notch artists. This industry is a small circle. You trade staff and crew a lot because these people need to fill their schedules, and a few of our friends just happen to become available. You also have to have a content person who is in charge of proving to the digital world that you are alive and well, and you're bringing it each and every night. Back in 2005 and 2006, we didn't think about that at all. I wish we did. I would love to have some of those photos just to laugh at our hair. I'm sure you would too. I remember filming the music video for Saying Sorry in Chicago. We had to meet with our record label about trying to renegotiate our deal. We waited around all day dressed in white tuxedos, surrounded by girls in weird makeup. I think they were supposed to be angels, but I don't really know. I just know that we were trying to do something that wasn't so black, clothing and blood and gore. We were trying to be opulent, more in tune with the Smashing Pumpkins than what was happening in the scene at the time. Not to say that we were abandoning who we were. We just wanted each piece to stand alone and not feel so locked into a place and time. Who knows if we succeeded with that? I think that, one thing I know that we didn't succeed in was talking to our record label and talking them into a new contract in that moment. At the time, we felt as if our deal was too one-sided. We'd outlived the developmental deal that we'd signed. They had taken a risk on our first album, but we were no longer a risk. We deserved to share a little bit more in the economics of our band. We spend 150 days on the road, 40 days in the studio. Our life was no longer just ours. We didn't want to feel like we were owned. But the conversation didn't go well. We were called ungrateful, and it was uneasy. You could have heard a pin drop in that tiny room. I remember the whole conversation lasting less than 15 minutes. This podcast is going to last longer than that. We had sold over 700 records at that point, and he wasn't even interested in having a conversation. But I guess he didn't have to be. He thought we were bluffing. That was kind of the beginning of the end of that relationship. I don't really like to talk about that time period much. It brings up too many raw emotions. It was just chaos. Too many highs and lows. Too much mania. Not enough balance. I've been chasing that balance ever since we spent a year talking about going to court instead of going on tour. It was hard. It was draining. It took me a decade to feel better. But I do feel better. There's no point in looking through the cobwebs in your mind and rattling old bones. I focus on today. How am I feeling today? I feel great. I feel like the snow is beautiful because I know it's going to melt in a day. I know that we might have small-scale problems, and those problems are going to melt away right along with that snow. We'll get our work done. We'll play as well as we can. We'll hope for tight nights under the bright lights. We're even considering doing an encore on this one. If you know anything about our band, I'm pretty vocal about hating encores. Do we need this pageantry in 2026? Don't you know if we leave the stage but we haven't played Ohio is for Lovers that we're coming back? Is it okay to be scared that if we leave the stage you'll leave us and try to beat the traffic? Self-doubt's a crazy thing, man. But all artists have it. Speaking of, one of the things I'm most proud of about this tour is that we're taking the stage at 9 p.m. because we know that you need to get home. We chose for it to be a 3-band package instead of a 4, so your ears don't get decimated. We chose bands that each sound totally different so you can be engaged with the show and see how the underground music scene can be stretched. Creeper is about the darkness within us all, brooding, cinematic, gothic, decadent, and perfect. Let Live is about the chaos within us all. They ravage the stage like the anxiety ravages my brain. They're brilliant. Hawthorne Heights is about command and control. Can we make everything so perfect that everything else just falls into place? Or will we go off the rails? Hopefully a little bit of each. I don't mind going off the rails. I just want to feel like I'm on the rails before I go off the rails. Does that make any sense? All right, friends, here's your homework. Listen to some music that makes you feel good, transports you to a place in time, but allows you to focus on where you are at that exact moment. Don't be afraid of a little intensity. I forgot to mention that on this VIP, we're telling stories about if only you were lonely, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So in that homework, if you do have a VIP, think of a question. Don't be shy. You can be an introvert, but an extrovert in the same moment. Have the courage to get out there and do something. Do something. Do something. I'm going to miss my cats. Matt tries to tell me that cats don't miss you, and that's why he likes dogs. I don't believe him. Both things can be true. He likes dogs, and I like cats, and Mark kind of likes them both. That sums up our entire band dynamic. If you know, you know. Let's see how the dudes hold up this time around. We're going to be fine. Coffee club is every day at 9 a.m. I wonder who's going to wake up in time for it on this tour. Guaranteed attendees will be me and Matthew Jenkins. As always, everyone's invited, but not everyone will attend. Matt will be late. Some things never change. Some things don't need to. I hope the sun doesn't set on us too quickly. If you want to look sick, wear a black shirt and a white tie to the show. Classic emo vibes. I gotta get a cup of coffee, man. I gotta watch this snowfall. I gotta write some fucking lyrics. Tune in next week for the breakdown of Dead in the Water. the heaviest song Hawthorne Heights has ever written. It's an alternate tuning. Aaron fucking hated it, and he still might. So, I don't know what this is, but there's tiny little fires everywhere. Sometimes they're in your head, sometimes they're in your heart. I don't know if this is a podcast, storytelling, song-by-song breakdown, but I don't really think I need to know what it is, and I don't think you do either. Let's keep it organic, let's keep it real, let's keep it raw. Let's just keep it. This has been JT, and I'm feeling just fine. I hope you're feeling fine too. But I'm out.